Two of the greatest issues facing our planet today are climate change and food insecurity. Today I'm going to talk to you about one way to mitigate both of these issues, the next wonder of the world, biochar. So what is biochar? Biochar is essentially the same as any other charcoal. However, the way that it is produced is what really sets it apart. It's produced through a method called pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is burning plant matter under zero oxygen to create charcoal with extremely small or no emissions. So what makes biochar so wonderful as a soil nutrient, helping your plants grow? Well, there's three main things. The first, it's been proven to increase crop yield by up to 10 times for certain crops. It's proven to sequester carbon more than any other soil nutrient, meaning it stores atmospheric carbon, further decreasing the effects of climate change. And it's been proven to decrease soil erosion and soil runoff. The way that this happens is through extreme permeability of the biochar, meaning that the water flows into the soil instead of being stuck on top and then running off, carrying away the useful nutrient-rich soil with it. This soil runoff both makes it harder to grow good vegetables, bountiful vegetables, and it can also pollute waterways by carrying all that soil and nitrogen that's found in the soil into the water, thus polluting it. So these three things show that biochar really is an extremely powerful tool. So why has biochar not been used more? Well, there's two main things that have stopped biochar from being further used. The first is that it has not received the marketing that it requires. There's not a lot of knowledge about it outside of certain communities. There have not been powerful organizations trying to create a market for this item. And also, there's not a lot of studies done on how to make it economically feasible at a large scale. One other great thing about biochar is that on a small scale, it's extremely cheap to produce and to put into use. You can buy a very small kiln for just a few $100s and just use your recycled plant matter and then create all the soil nutrients you need for your crops. However, when you take it to a larger scale and attempt to mass produce it, that's when it gets expensive. It requires large pyrolysis plants, massive operations that cost thousands of dollars. And it's also extremely expensive to swap out your old nutrients for this new biochar in such a large operation. So one way to increase biochar's accessibility is by studying the possible ways to make it more economically feasible on a large scale. One of these ways is by increasing the value of carbon. So when you sequester that carbon, you can actually be paid to sell that carbon after it's been used up as a soil nutrient. And that is one possible way that the EPA and FDA are looking at creating an incentive to use this biochar. So biochar was originally founded based on ancient Aztec technology called terra preta, which is a burnt earth. They found this terra preta deep in the soil layers in Aztec ruins and realized that it's one way that the Aztecs used to provide nutrients to their crops, and also was an extremely effective way in growing those crops. There are a few limitations though. biochar is not good for acidic, for crops that require acidic environments such as garlic, and it also is not extremely economically feasible on a large scale. So really, what we need to do as a community to make this biochar more well-known and more accessible to both small and large farmers as a whole is to increase the awareness through marketing, social media campaigns, and also to do more studies and encourage the government to do more studies into the economics behind this biochar.